Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna go through smurfing and the subject and the concept of it all, and how it is in the end of the day just not really that intelligently put together. Everything from arguments around the thing and how it exists and what it does to how bad and terrible it can be for a game. A lot of people got misconceptions around this subject, and I just don't fundamentally enjoy that people have them, because unless you've actually gone through the entire rank system and you properly know, well, not necessarily, but if you are able to fathom the concept of what a smurfer is, it doesn't really actually make sense in a true concept of the system that we are in. So let's compare this game instantaneously to the previously really big game out there, which is Call of Duty, a first-person shooter. In that game, anybody can join anything, and they can just stomp if they want to. It's being called lobby shopping, I do believe, a concept that is relatively old, and people used to do that a fuck ton in the past so that they could get themselves good gameplays. On top of cherry picking too, by the way. So essentially, yes, they were like playing, like assume that you're playing Counter-Strike, but you're constantly making a new account, and then you just join the weakest account you have, and you smash enemies, and then you upload only that gameplay. Like, you're not actually proving that you're skilled if you kill a fuck ton of newbie players if you're just decently good. Which is why I just like to, you know, choose something that have a lot of juicy stuff or cool stuff that happens within the gameplays, and then I upload those instead, because I want to be genuine, you know? Anybody's killable, nobody's perfect. That's a fucking stupid mistake to make if you think somebody are perfect at the game. Except for all of my stress of late now, but, you know, compared to him, anybody is trash at the game. Apparently so. But anyways, moving on. So the concept of smurfing, it's apparently so something that people want to stick to whenever they meet an opponent that they feel it's not justified for them to meet, and they find it to be really off-putting, mentally, you know, draining, and really annoying and lame and sad, and just very annoying and bad to meet a person that is just suddenly at this rank way better than you, and he's stomping you. I mean, in the end of the day, if he has not been able to get his rank yet, which I do believe that that entire part of the ELO ranking system, it has actually been fixed to a certain degree, which is kind of nice. That means that smurfers can't really actually smurf, because their performance and their first set rank, it will actually happen way faster, you know. So let's say that I go and smurf and I play like a global elite, I'll get something relatively close to global elite, you know. If I'm landing at LEM, landing at DMG, landing at Nova 4, I will probably get that. Or if that was my previous rank, you know, I'll get it faster. So it's already been counter moved, or, you know, they've tried to fix it. But in the end of the day, still, like, getting the verifier that your skill only amounts to this much, I think that is one of the things that pushed me the most to play more Counter-Strike. It's like meeting a boss or doing one of the bigger tests when you go to school, which I've not done in fucking years. Which, you know, it proves that, alright, so this is where I am. I'm this pathetic on this area, this subject, you know, and I can still reach this much further on if I just keep on working at it, you know. Knowing your max level of reaction time, you know, knowing your total experience, your technical understanding of the game, your technical understanding of subjects, all of these things, I already knew what my level were at, and, you know, also my level of dedication to subjects and such things. Actually putting it to the test, actually seeing how much it can and will amount up to in a relatively speaking realistic environment, you know, still having proper competitive rule sets for matches like these, I think that would be way better, because it would give me an even better measurement of these things. But in the end of the day, it was actually pretty good motivator, even though again it was lame to get smashed, because it was like, you know what, Yellow, you can get so much better at this game. Just look at this guy. He's doing it without fucking, without two questions at it. So at least what you can do is to give it your best and see how far you can actually manage by skill, and how far this little small test of, you know, you meeting one global elite, smurfer, whatever the fuck, don't really care. Personally, I don't really care what rank you're at, even if I'm below you, regardless of the game. Like, at least I got my test, you know, and I was like, you know what, okay, you're this good, you're this bad compared to your teammates, you're reacting like this compared to that, and in the end of the day, yeah, it's a little bit lame to get smashed, but this happens all the time in other games, you know. If you want to play random chess and meet somebody, you're gonna get smashed. If I was to go and play Hearthstone, I would get obliterated for all I know, and for all I care too. If I was to go and do the same, if the randomness system that were in, and still is as far as I know, existing Call of Duty, is that if that system were to be put into Counter-Strike again, which is initially was how Counter-Strike was working at in the past, if you had no idea, which was why I was constantly in 1.6, you know, just talking about people being cheaters, or at least I thought so, but apparently so, they were just really good. Like, It's not really that bad, okay? It's not. Even if you're not having the best time at all, this misconception of people playing games and constantly having fun, at least from a competitive mindset, it's actually very counterintuitive and unintelligent and just outright bad. Not that it's always bad, and not that everybody being related to this way of thought and how it's nice and fun and, you know, all you want to do in life is having fun. Going through hardships in order to be able to have even more fun, because you're now, you know, increasing your level as a person of execution, but also a player of a fun video game. I think that is way more fun, personally speaking. Well, mostly also because if you do anything on a really high level, you as a person, you will take after your executions, and you know, regardless if it's a petty thing, you will be able to, in all the ways of all the ways and walks of life, you will be able to do things better, almost regardless. You know, like yeah, I guess I shouldn't dwell too much on personal matters, but regarding to, or related to gamings and stuff like that, they have actually intervened with past jobs I've had, and it has actually made it so that I will do things better in that sense. And so I hopefully do want to believe that that will happen in the future as well. Even though, again, in other technical settings, the same do frequently happen. Smash players that play Smash Melee, for example, if they want to go and play CSGO, normally they will land at a higher, you know, rank rating level thingamabob. But again, you know, in that game, there is always one winner, just like in street fighting games and stuff of that nature too. Always there will be one loser and one winner. So people need to just wake up, start realize that there will always be a loser and one person being beat when other people win, and just deal with it in a more, you know, half careless way, and rather start focusing on the exact details of what went on so you can progress instead of just getting, you know, smashed and that, and now start whining, wasting your time that you could use to get a lot better, you know. So as you can see here, I was smurfing, and yeah, Lem and Supreme on the enemy team as well. You know, all Lems and one Supreme. But anyways, thanks for watching. Here are 2 related videos on the subject. If you want to learn even more, thanks for watching. If you want to support the YouTube channel, you can find out how in the description below. The Patreon page is there for you people. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play, people.